Merry meet everyone. I know I've done a few videos today. The first video obviously was about Christianity. Second one was just general altar and catch up stuff. And I thought I'd do a couple of news. First up, there is a new Facebook page. It's on the channel page because I figured out how to do links. Great stuff. So now I've got a link to the blog and I've got a link to the new Facebook page, which is very, very exciting. So if you guys want to obviously pop over to Facebook and like it, says basically when you like the page you get the updates from me. You can also then comment on the page. You can also ask me questions for the Q&As and what have you. So yeah, I was digging around in my boxes and I came across a few things I thought I'd lost, which I thought I'd share with you. The first one is one of my favourite witchy books of all time, The Green Wiccan Book of Shadows. I love it. It's mostly full of spells, which is what makes a good witchy book for me. Because I'm not really a Wiccan, although this is called The Green Wiccan, everything with a load of Wiccan stuff is not my cup of tea. Although that said, you've got this book, obviously if you look at the contents page, does Magical Theory and Practice as part 1, then you've obviously got a load of spells, then you have some meditations and rituals, and then you just have a little chapter called Continuing Your Journey, and then you've got like a table of magical associations, a glossary, useful resources and an index, which is very handy. So yeah, it's by Silja, and it's called The Green Wiccan Book of Shadows, a compendium of magical knowledge. So this one I feel is a must-have, especially for witches that are more, well, they're young, but they're not tweens or teenagers anymore. They're a bit older, they're about to go off to college and university, they're a bit too old to be having all the teenage witch stuff shoved down their throats, so this is ideal. I also came across my old tarot deck collection. For a while I just went around collecting tarot decks. Obviously I just use one deck obviously for all my readings, but I'll show you some of the ones that I managed to collect. First one is my massive deck. No joke. Box is broken, but the cards are huge. I tried to shuffle these, but it didn't work. But I just have them as part of my collections. I do like them, and I mean the artwork is stunning. This one's the devil, I think. Very dark and scary. It's just a really nice thing to have, you know, like it's one of those decks that's more for just to look at rather than to actually use, because they're just too big and clunky to shuffle, but they're really pretty, so I'll put them over there. I have 2 packs of these, one that's in my locker at college and is the general one I just use, and I also have this extra as a spare. It's the original Rider-Waite tarot deck, and it's the one that I like, that I'm most likely to use. I've got the little book with it as well. I bought this one in a car boot sale actually. I think it was for £2. I know that most people go to the actual Wiccan pagan shops to get them, which is where I got my first deck. But they're like £20 a pack, and I'm like thinking, well, if I can get them cheaper somewhere else, then I will. And I know these are second hand, but it's so easy to cleanse a deck, really, if you're going to actually use them. Which I will obviously explain now. Actually, I've got a pack which I also bought from a car boot, but they were like in a band, and they're just loose, they don't have their own box. Basically, if you're given a deck that his second hand has been used by somebody else, what I like to do is I will shuffle them. That's the first thing I'll do. And then what I quite like to do is I turn the deck that way and I will hammer on it like this, and it wraps out, in my opinion, it wraps out the old energy, and then you shuffle them again to put your energy in there, you know? If you want, you can do the whole, I think some pagans like to use incense and do a proper ritual to cleanse the deck, but I think a really quick and simple way is to either blow on the deck, or you fan it out and you physically blow on the deck. It's hard. Or you wrap it with your fist, and it cleans it out really quickly and really basically, and then you shuffle it as roughly as you can to sort of put, and as you do it, sort of think about who you are as a person, who you want to be as a reader, sort of thing, and that puts your energy in there. That's just a thing. But I'll show you these cards anyway. These ones are very basic. You know, with the original rider, if I'll open this one up actually, I'll show you, which card shall I show you all? Something, I think I'll try to show you, okay, King of Cups. No, that was not a good example. Let me get a good example. That's quite arty. Okay. Nope, I think I had this one, which is, I think, the 10 of Pentacles. Is obviously, this is the original arcana, very quite arty actually, quite complex art. And I'm going to go and find the, if I can find it. Sorry. These ones, this is, I think, basically, this is cardboard actually, this deck, not normal card. Where are you? They're really difficult to shuffle, these ones, which is probably why I don't use them, to be honest. Which I just liked them to look at them. Oop. Where are you? It's probably going to be, knowing my luck, right at the back. Or not there at all. There we go. And this is, obviously this pack, the 10 of Pentacles looks like that. And it's got the actual physical writing on there. And I think this deck, this particular deck, compared to this one, is ideal for those who are starting out, because the images on this deck are so basic. I really should be using these, but they're so horrible to shuffle. That's the only problem, because you can feel that they're cardboard and it's not nice. Which is why I just have them for as with their normal cards. Obviously you've got their proper cardy cards and they feel nice to shuffle, which is, when I'm looking for a deck, what I like to know is if they're nice to shuffle or not. If they're not nice to shuffle, then I won't buy them really. Or if I'm going to buy them and they look pretty but they're not nice to shuffle, I'll buy them for my collection and I will never use them. I'll just obviously show them off and they'll look pretty. I also got this deck in a car boot. I don't know, I think I got this one for like, I think 50p they sold this one for. I think they just said that they wanted to have a good clear out, and I was like, fair enough. So obviously there, again, you've got, instead of just like in the other deck where you've got like the physically written 10 of whatever, you've still got the Roman numeral, but it's written underneath what it is as well. So if you get confused, because some things do look quite odd, and it's written quite clearly, which is very nice. And this is another, I think, another useful one for beginners, and it's obviously nicer to shuffle. And I think the last one, tarot deck-wise, that I found is the Gendron Tarot, which again I got at a car boot, and I think what it was I got this with my Oracle cards, which I also bought from a car boot sale, and I wanted both of them. And the guy was asking for like £6 each, and I was like, come on, that's no good. So I know a load of witches say you're not supposed to haggle for witchy items, but I haggled them both down to, I think, £6 for both. And I said, look, come on, I would expect to pay £6 for both of them, you know. And I said, well, I'm going to go now, actually. I'm going to leave these and I'm going to go. And then he called me back and he's like, no, I'll give them to you for £5. And I said, yeah, go on then. So actually I got them for a £5. So I was like, yes. But you really, really shouldn't haggle, apparently. But I got these and my oracles, which I was very happy with. So, you know, I think it's okay to haggle for things, especially if you're poor like me. And the last thing I found is this box. This is a bigger box that I bought. And I've got herbs in here that I've also bought from my pagan shop. So I've got, I think, some rue. And what I like about the shop that I get these in is they put them in a little bag and they write on the sticker, they type on the sticker, the label of what the powers of each herb is. So this one obviously it tells you whether it's a masculine or a feminine, and what planet it goes with. And I mean, with rue, I haven't opened this yet because I haven't had the chance to. I just thought it would be cool to have some rue, because in all the books it says you shouldn't have rue if you're pregnant or if you're expecting a baby or whatever. So I thought, cool, that sounds terrible. I've got some lavender. I've got rosemary, chrysophrenium flowers. I'm running out of those, as I think, yeah, I'll tell you about that later. Some, I think, hibiscus flowers, rose petals, and clover leaf. And I think I bought all these because they were all they're like love plants, as well as among other things. And what I did was I created a love water with them, which is basically I shoved all of the plants that I wanted in hot water and then bottled it up, and then obviously left it to stew for a few days, and then I used it in the water. Is whether I used that spell for like whenever I felt like I needed a bit of self-loving, or whether I felt like something needed a bit more love, and I thought, well, you know, or it's just an excuse because I quite liked the idea of having herbs in my bath. So that's all my witchy findings in my room, because obviously I had a phase where I didn't want to have anything to do with witchcraft, so I packed everything away into boxes and forgot about it all. And then obviously in my revival I found some things but not others. So yep, that's obviously my tarot sets as well. And I think one last thing, I think I've just spotted it actually, the Love Spells deck, which I bought from, I think, The Works around this time last year, and it's basically a load of love spells. I'll probably look through these later and put some of them in my Book of Shadows if I like them, so, you know, they're literally quite nice cards. So you've got like a root, this one, like that. Basically they're literally like spells on each card, which is pretty cool. So and they've got a nice little box as well, so I've kept hold of them. So yeah, please go to the Facebook page and like, and obviously comment to say that you're there, which will be quite nice, so I know I feel a bit more popular, if that makes sense. I'm gonna go now, because I've got a load of boxes to get off my bed before I actually turn in for the night. I've got to pack ready for college tomorrow morning. Yeah, I've got to go back, and I might do a reading or two. Seems I've now found a load of tarot decks, I might as well do a reading or two. So yeah, I'm going to catch you guys later. Hope you all had a great day, and yeah, obviously I'm going to dry my hair and get ready for bed, and I'll catch you guys later. Blessed be everyone.